Okay, good morning, everybody. The meeting is now being live streamed to the licensing hearing today, 31st of March 2022. My name is Woods. I am the Democratic Representative. First port of call is to appoint a chair. Could I have a proposal for chair, please?
I nominate Mike Warren.
Second.
I second Mike Warren.
Okay. Councillor Mike Warren has been appointed chair. Over to you, Councillor.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I'm Councillor Mike Warren, chair of today's licensing subcommittee hearing. My colleagues are Sally Beardsworth and Keith Holland-Delamere. Can I ask my members to introduce themselves, please? Sally.
Hello, I'm Councillor Sally Beardsworth and I represent Kingsthorpe South.
And Keith.
I'm Councillor Keith Holland-Delamere and I represent Billingham Rectory Farm.
Thank you. Can I ask members of the licensing if they have any interest and to declare such interests?
None, Chair.
None, Chair.
Thank you. Just firstly, some matters of housekeeping. We have one member with us that's actually in council offices. So should the fire alarm suddenly blast out, he will have to leave the meeting. Therefore, we will have to suspend the hearing and hopefully reconvene. But if we have to adjourn, then we'll contact everybody and rearrange. Can I ask everybody to switch their mobiles to silent, please? And the proceedings this morning are being streamed live on YouTube. Today's hearing is to consider representation of variation of licence in accordance with Section 34 of the Licensing Act 2003. Can I ask all those present today if they've received the agenda and have understood the proceedings for today's hearing?
Yes, Chair.
Yes, Chair.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, I have.
Can I also now ask everybody to introduce themselves? I'll go across the screen that I have here. Our licensing officer today, Eleanor.
Good morning all. I'm Eleanor Flannery. I'm the licensing team leader here at West Northampton area.
Thank you. Our legal advisor is Roxanne.
Morning, everyone. I'm Roxana Munir. I'm the legal advisor this morning and also solicitor for the council.
Thank you. And our Democratic Services representative, Richard.
Everybody, already introduced myself.
Thank you. Maisie.
Good morning, everyone. Maisie McInnes, Democratic Services.
Thank you. And the applicant, we've got Darren. You're on mute, sir. You're still on mute. Oh, it's frozen now.
Yeah, morning everyone. My name is Sridharan Thampapillai.
Thank you very much. And Darren's representative this morning.
Yeah, good morning, Chair. Good morning, councillors. My name is Frank Fender. I'm representing Darren this morning for the hearing.
Thank you. And we have one objection today, and I believe that's Eleanor. Oh, sorry, Laura.
Yes, that's me, Laura O'Leary. I'm here.
Okay, thank you very much. Can I ask the licensing officer to outline the report today, please?
Yes, thank you, Chair. That's fine. So the purpose of the report is to consider an application for a variation to a premises licence in accordance with Section 34 of the Licensing Act 2003. The application made by Darren's Family Limited in respect of Dave's Supermarket 59 to 61 High Street, Northampton. The application, which can be found at Appendix A, was received by West Northamptonshire Council on the 7th of February 2022. The premises are a retail premises, a small supermarket in a village location on the outskirts of Northampton, selling a range of goods and services. This includes the sale of alcohol by retail for consumption off the premises. The current licensable activities applied for in the application are as follows. So that's the sale of alcohol by retail off the premises only between Monday and Saturday between 8 and 23 hours, Sunday from 10 until 22:30 hours, bank holidays from 8 until 22:30 hours, and Christmas Day from 12 till 15 hours and 19 till 23:30 hours. The designated premises supervisor is a Mr. Sitharan Thampapillai, and he's a holder of a personal licence issued by Milton Keynes Council. In attendance today, we have Mr. Frank Fender, who is the representative for Darren's Family Limited, and Miss Laura O'Leary, who is a local resident objecting to the application. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Can I ask panel members, Sally, do you have any questions of the licensing officer on their report?
No, it's fairly straightforward. Thank you very much. No questions.
Thank you. And Keith?
No further questions, Chair.
Okay. I don't have any questions of Eleanor, so thank you very much for the report. Can I ask Mr. Fender if you could outline the applicant's application, please?
Yes, certainly, Chair. Thank you. As we've heard, this is an application today to vary the existing premises licence at Dave's Supermarket in the High Street at Hardingstone. The application is made by Darren's Family Limited, and the director of that company, Sritharan Thampapillai, who quite happy for everyone to refer to him as Darren for the purpose of today's proceedings, Chair. He is present today. He's also the designated premises supervisor for the premises, having taken over in January this year. Darren has over 20 years of retail experience in premises which are licensed to sell alcohol, all for consumption off the premises, off licenses effectively. The first 5 years of those 20, he was working for a well-known supermarket, and for the last 15 years, he's operated his own licensed shops. Darren currently has 2 other shops in Northamptonshire, which are currently run by managers under his guidance. In all of his 20 years working at licensed premises, selling alcohol, he has never been the cause of any issues for any of the authorities, nor for any local people. He has an exemplary track record of operating shops without causing issues. Today's application is to extend the hours for the sale of alcohol to be sold at these premises. And the application seeks permission to be able to sell alcohol from 6 AM until 11 PM every day of the week. You will note from your papers that there is an existing premises licence. That existing premises licence already allows the sale of alcohol up until 11 PM, Monday through to Saturday, and until 10:30 PM on a Sunday. That permission already exists. The extended hours requested for today's application tend to start at the start from the day's trading hours from 6 AM instead of the currently permitted 8 AM Monday through to Saturday and from 10 AM on Sunday. So it makes it a more consistent approach to the hours for the selling of alcohol. You might have also noted, Chair, councillors, that the existing premises licence has no conditions attached to it other than the mandatory conditions. Those mandatory conditions are attached to every licence. Today's application was submitted with this in mind, and therefore conditions relating to staff training, CCTV, Challenge 25, maintenance of a refusals register and more have been volunteered as part of this application. This evidences the applicant's intentions to run these premises in a way which benefits local people and does not cause issues. Those conditions are on pages 10 and 11 of your report. The application has received one representation from a local person who I believe lives opposite the premises, although I can't confirm that. I don't have Laura's address. You will, however, note that there are no representations from any of the responsible authorities, no representations from any of the statutory authorities. You will also note that there are no representations from anyone else in the village of Hardingstone, just this one representation today, hence the need for today's hearing. Now, Darren fully respects that people have a right to make a representation. He accepts that it's always good to know how local people feel about his business when he's operating his premises. And of course, it would not be in his interest to upset local people. Local people are his customers. The representation tends to focus on alleged activity in the evenings as opposed to the mornings. It is clear from the representation that Ms. O'Leary would like to see the shop closed at 7:30 p.m. each day. That, respectfully, is not a consideration for today because there's already an existing licence to allow alcohol to be sold until 11 p.m. and 10:30 p.m. This is an application to extend the hours. It's not a review application where hours could be revised. Ms. O'Leary appears to be saying that there is a lot of antisocial behaviour in the area. This does not appear to be borne out by the police. I would remind you that the police have not made a representation. And had there been a level of antisocial behaviour, crime or disorder in the area, then I feel sure the police would have made a representation in their own right. On receipt of the representation, I did email Ms. O'Leary. I wanted to explain what the existing premises licence permissions were, as I wasn't completely sure if she was aware that these premises were already licensed until 11 p.m. We did have a bit of dialogue, nothing was resolved. She retained her representation, which is absolutely her right. So, Chair, in summary, the concerns of Ms. O'Leary, they are noted by the applicant, but he has the experience of making sure that there will be no issues for local people as a result of these hours requested. There appears to be no expressed concerns from Ms. O'Leary about the premises commencing trading from 6 a.m. Her concerns appear to focus on the evenings rather than the mornings. Chair, we would ask you to grant this application today as applied for, with the volunteered conditions attached to the licence, should you be willing to grant. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. Sally, do you have any questions to ask of Mr. Fender?
No, he seems to have covered everything that I wanted to know. Thank you very much.
Okay. Keith?
So can you just confirm the applicant took over the premises in January? Is that correct?
Yes, he took over the premises from the previous occupier in January this year. The premises licence was transferred to Darren's Family Limited and Darren became the designated premises supervisor. That's correct.
Okay, so January 2022.
Yes, that's correct.
I just have one question. In your report, you stated that it's also a news agent as well as a local store. Has it always been a news agent, or is this a new part of the business from January?
Well, certainly when I visited in January at the time of the takeover, newspapers were on sale, but maybe Darren would be best to qualify that for you, Chair. Darren, could you answer that, please?
Yeah, I have took the business the 22nd of December 2021, and the transition period, the previous owners with me is Viran Shah. When you met Frank, then when we changed until he was staying with me to teach some new things on the shop. We selling especially newspapers, magazines, and halls, and some local things we selling. That's really new to me. There's some wood things and so local suppliers he introduced me. That's why you want to stay a few 2 to 3 weeks with me.
Okay, so it's, if I understand that correctly, it's now a designated news agent as opposed to it wasn't in January. Is that correct?
No, it was a news agent. It's a long while. It's nearly 30-40 years news. They're selling news and magazine as well. And now we're going to convert it for one stop. It's going to be part of Tesco Group.
Okay, thank you very much. I don't have any further questions. Thank you. Roxanne, do you have any questions?
Chair, I have no questions.
Okay, thank you. Can I ask Laura if you could present your case, please? You're on mute.
I would say that when I put my objections in, I was unaware that shop already had its license to sell alcohol from 8 to 11 Monday to Saturday and 10 a.m. to 10:30 on a Sunday. I feel that I would have worded my objection slightly different, as I was advised after by Mr. O'Connell that you can't rescind a licence once it's been issued. My concerns regarding the noise pollution will still remain the same, and I feel that 6 a.m. in the morning will be amplified due to more traffic and the parking outside the shop and in the main road. The shop car park is less than 35 feet from my home, and it's clear from speaking to people that and Mr. Fender emails that the shop new owner business plan is to open hours to coincide with the new license that he wishes to have. I have no objection to them being extended to 7 a.m, but feel the noise and pollution from vehicles parking every few minutes, doors slamming, revving, headlights into our home, vehicles making deliveries. By opening early and closing later, this will encourage people to further refill and impact on the environment as well as ourselves. Our neighbours are elderly and who are not all on the internet as well. And I understand that the shop will open to 11 at night, and I get all that and I don't object, but I just think that 6 a.m. is just, the noise will be horrendous for us living there. I could go. I've no objection to it being from 7 a.m. in the mornings, and I know that he is a news agent. He's always been a news agent. I've been here for 16 years, and I appreciate that I was unaware of the licensing hours already consented.
Okay. Is that it, Laura? Yeah. Thank you very much.
I just think that that a little bit more consideration would have been needed about the 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. I'm sorry, I'm too
Okay, yeah,
sorry.
that's fine. Thank you for presenting that this morning. Sally, do you have any questions of Laura at all? You're on mute, Sally.
I was getting off it, thank you. Just wanted to ask a couple of questions. When you wrote your letter, were you writing it purely for yourself, or are these have you talked to your neighbours? Are they feeling the same way?
I had spoken to my neighbours and I was doing it on their behalf as well. But like I say, they're quite elderly, some of my neighbours, and some of them have suffered a recent bereavement. So she wasn't obviously in the right frame of mind to even think about the shop at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was on behalf of my neighbours. I've spoken to them.
Yeah. You mentioned in your letter.
And we all live right opposite the shop.
Yeah. Yeah. You mentioned in your letter that there has been some problems in the past with ASBO and people urinating.
Last summer.
Yes. But was that before the gentleman took over or after?
No, before.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much indeed.
Do you have any questions of Laura?
Sally already asked the questions I was going to ask.
Okay, thank you. I just would just quickly point out, although Sally alluded to whether you were, sort of speaking on behalf of anybody else, you've only put your application in, and we can only adjudicate on your objection. So it's just
I
one
understand
objection.
that. My other neighbour did.
Yeah, I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, she missed the deadline, unfortunately. Yeah, I do understand that I am the only one objecting, but I did speak to the neighbours as well. Because we've all got our bedrooms on the front opposite the car park, and that seems to be, the main issue of cars and things coming through.
Yeah. Okay, I understand that. Right.
Thank you.
Can I ask Mr. Bennett if you could sum up, please?
Yeah, summing up, you're always tempted to go back through the whole presentation. I won't do that, you'll be pleased to know. but what I would do is just clarify a couple of the comments or a further response to what Laura has said. You heard me say earlier that Darren already operates 2 other premises in Northamptonshire. He has 2 shops in Wellingborough. Both of those shops open from 6 a.m. in the mornings. One closes at midnight, the other closes at 2 in the morning. And there's never been any issues as a result of opening from 6 a.m. I think I would also reiterate, Darren needs to make sure that he doesn't cause problems for his local residents, the local people who will be his customers. I feel sure, and I think, Chair, this is sort of directed towards Laura, that should this application be granted today, and if there were any problems from 6 a.m. from his opening, Darren would welcome you to come and visit, talk about the problems, and he would be able to see what he could do to eradicate them. He wants to work with the community. He doesn't want to be a blight to the community. And I think Laura needs to understand that she can do that in confidence that there would be no comeback. Yes, Chair, like I say, no other representations at all. Not unreasonable hours in our submission, although that's always open to debate. And I would ask you to grant as applied for. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. Laura, would you like to sum up, please?
I understand what he's saying, but this is a village as well. We're not a town centre, because I understand his other shops are in Wellingborough in the town centre. And I do feel that it's not going to be opening at 6. It will be open before that, because obviously they're going to do preparation work for the day, and closing is going to be later. There's loads I want to say, but I really don't know how to say it, to be honest. But I do understand that the new owners are going to be approachable, because it's beneficial for them and for the community. But I just personally, and for my neighbours' behalf, I'm just saying that we think 6 a.m. is too early. 7 is fine, but because we're used to that, the shop's always opened at 7. So that's it. I'm waffling. Sorry.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Roxanne, do you have any comments at all?
Chair, I don't have any comments other than we didn't give Frank the opportunity to ask any questions prior to summing up. So I just wanted to clarify if you had any questions for Miss O'Leary.
I've no questions for you, Chair. No questions of Ms. O'Leary, and thank you for that. I think Ms. O'Leary is perfectly within her rights to say what she has, but obviously there's always 2 sides. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Can I ask the applicant and the objectors whether they've had sufficient opportunity today to say everything that they wish?
Can I just also point out that for us, we're here 24/7, 7 days a week. Obviously, with the she's going to have staff in there that will be doing shift hours, so they're not going to be as involved in the community as like what we are, or affected by the traffic. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Laura. Yeah, and you're happy with the opportunity? You said everything that you wanted to say this morning.
I think so.
Okay, thank you.
Brain is on blank. Sorry.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. Right, we will now retire to make. Oh, sorry. Yes, Frank. Yes.
I'm sorry, Chair. Yeah, I've had the time. I just wonder whether Darren might want to add anything of it from his own volition. Not being in the same room, of course, we don't have that opportunity to whisper. Okay. I wonder if Darren could be asked the same question, Chair.
Certainly. Are you happy with today's hearing today, Darren?
Yeah, definitely, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Okay, we will now retire to make our decision. The decision will be communicated to you within writing within 5 working days and the details of any appeal against the decision will also be included within that notice. I thank you all today for attending, and I now call this hearing